What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky, here to answer any questions you might have about dropshipping onto different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So what I normally suggest is, hey, check out some of my other videos. I really cover a lot about how to get started with dropshipping. If you want a more in-depth guide, you can go ahead and sign up for one of my courses once they become available. And then if you have any questions, come to one of these live streams because I do these every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time for about 30 minutes. Come in here and answer all the questions that you guys might have. If you're brand new to this, also check out the description on my video. I have a ton of free resources for you, a bunch of PDF guides I put together that if you sign up, you get those PDF guides for free. You can download them, keep them forever, and they give you some great valuable information. One's all about the different software I use for dropshipping, and the other is about all the suppliers I use for dropshipping. So definitely check those out. Those are free, and those are in the description of my videos. All right, let's jump into the live chat and see who is here. We have Othman here right off the bat with a great question. So let's jump right into this one. Othman says, how do you find winning products without using a paid software like Zeek Analytics? So product research is the most important thing when it comes to dropshipping. It's all about finding the right products to sell. The rest of it is pretty straightforward once you know what to do. So if you know how to list products, you know how to optimize them correctly, that part is not that hard. The optimization, there's a bit of skill in there, but pretty straightforward. It's about finding the products. That's the most important thing. So for me, spending the money for a software like Zeek Analytics, which is helping me find those products, is well worth it. That's an investment that I make. And that makes sense because that helps me find products faster and better products. So the thing is, we can do product research manually for free without using software. So the way you do that, I do have videos about that I've put out in the past where I show how you go onto eBay, you can search for a supplier's product, like you find a best-selling product on Walmart, search for on eBay, see who's selling it, and then go through each of those sellers' stores to see what items they are selling and that are actually selling, not just ones they have up for sale. So that's going to give you an idea of what types of products have sold in the past. All that's well and good, but the issue with that now is that you don't know when those products sold. So you might see a product that sold 20 times. Well, that's great, but what if it sold 20 times last year and it hasn't sold since then? Well, that's not a great product. So that's why I like Zeek Analytics, because it actually says, hey, this item sold 20 times in the past month. Or it will tell me, hey, this item hasn't sold in over a year. So that's very helpful information that you can't get from anywhere else. You used to be able to get it from eBay, but you can't anymore. There's no way to see when items have sold like you used to be able to. Zeek Analytics, though, does show you that information. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. That's why whenever I do product research now and make videos about it, I use Zeek because I don't see any other option. And it's great because even without that, it would quickly show you all the products that are selling and quickly be able to scan seller stores. So, I don't want to come across as like I'm being a shill for them or not. I've tried a lot of different software. I've tried not using software, but this feature of knowing when the product sold, you do need that information, and it's only available on Zeek. It's not available on eBay. So if you do want to do it manually, you can. Just the exact method that I just talked about. You could find some of my older videos about it, but it's not going to be great because it's going to, you're not going to know when the item sold. So that's the only issue with it. Brett Power says, what's the story behind the lightsaber in the backdrop of your videos? Brett, that's a great question. I'll answer that in just a few minutes. I want to answer like a couple more dropshipping questions. Maybe I'll answer that in like 10 minutes from now. Just want to make sure that I get some dropshipping questions in first. Roy says, hey, Paul, I hope you're well, pal. Is there a way of dropshipping on Facebook without them knowing, or is there any way around them knowing? Who's they? that's my question. If you mean like your friends and family, sure. Whenever you list an item on Facebook, it gives you the option to hide it from your friends and family so that anyone you're friends with on Facebook won't see that you've listed some items for sale on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're kind of like, oh yeah, I want to sell on Facebook Marketplace, but I don't want all my friends to know, like I'm kind of like tiptoeing into this, I'm kind of, honestly, when I started reselling online, drop shipping online, I was a bit embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I don't want people coming after me and saying like, some of my friends coming after me and saying like, Paul, you're just wasting your time doing this. So I kept it a secret for a while. Didn't tell many people about it. So if you're in the same boat, I totally get it, right? You don't want people in your life trying to shut you down when you're trying to build something and actually change your life. So you can definitely hide that from your friends and family on Facebook. Hey, Robert's back. Thanks for being here, man. Always good to see your face. Cred says, you mentioned in the Facebook course that once you, and hey, what's up, Cred? Thanks for coming back. Thanks for asking another great question. He says, once you mentioned in the Facebook course that once you started charging for shipping on Facebook Marketplace, you saw an increase in sales. Is that still so today? Why does that happen? Why doesn't it work on other marketplaces? So yes, we still see that today. And it is a bit of like a paradox. So it's not a great word for it. It is a bit of like a, something to think about, like why that happens on some marketplaces, not others. So I found that on eBay, we have to offer free shipping. Amazon, you have to offer free shipping. But Facebook Marketplace, we don't offer free shipping. And we saw an increase in sales with that. So the question is, like, why is that? And I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure why charging for shipping on Facebook Marketplace seems to work really well when in other places it doesn't. But it kind of makes sense. So if you take a step back in time to when Shopify dropshipping was working really well for people, a strategy that a lot of people employed when they were trying to sell their products on their own Shopify website is they would run Facebook ads. And when people landed and the Facebook ad would say, hey, this product that you can buy, it's a really cool product. It only costs $1. Or it's maybe it's even free. You just have to pay for shipping. And then the people would land on the page. They would see the free item or the cheap item, and they have to pay $10 for shipping or $15 for shipping or something. All the money there is being made in the shipping cost, right? It doesn't really cost you $15 to ship it. It maybe costs you like $3 or $4, and the rest of it you're keeping as a profit. So that is like a bit of a strategy that seemed to work for Facebook ads. And now we're just employing that same strategy, but on Facebook Marketplace. So it's the same place, right? It's still happening on Facebook. It's just kind of a different part of Facebook. And yeah, we saw that work. So that's one of the things that you can try is, let's say you have a product that you're offering free shipping on and you're selling it for $50 and it's not really selling. Well, try offering it for $40 with $10 shipping. And now we're seeing it selling more. And the reason that probably is because the algorithm for Facebook Facebook Marketplace might still be very new. So all it's taking into account is the actual price, the list price and not the total price with shipping. So it sees $40, it's going to rank it higher, and people are going to see the $40, are going to get excited, and then they're more likely to buy. At least that's the kind of theory behind it. Brett says, is there a limit to how many items I can order from Amazon on my personal account until they limit me or cancel orders? So we haven't seen any issues with this as long as you're not using Amazon Prime. If you're dropshipping using Amazon Prime, we do see Amazon shutting down those accounts. So just don't use Prime. Hey, what's up, Troy? Millionaire mindset with the first thumbs up, so I appreciate that. Brett says, should I create a business checking account before I even start to make my before I lost track of my words there. Should you create a business checking account before you start in order to make taxes easier and also keep potential future LLC safe? Yeah, so that's up to you. I certainly opened a business checking account to keep my personal expenses separate and personal money separate from my business money, and that helped a lot with taxes. So that's up to you, but I certainly did that. Cyberplayer says, I recently made a sale and didn't quite profit from it because Walmart charged me shipping. Is there any way I can know about shipping costs from Walmart before I place my order? Yeah, all of that should be accounted for, quite frankly, when you actually list the item. So, I list my items using Autods. It's a software. And in the settings, I set it up. So I told it, hey, if the item has free shipping, when you list the item, I want you to take into account the cost of the item. I want you to take into account sales tax, if you're paying sales tax, eBay fee, and I also want you to take into account the cost of shipping on Walmart, and it will do that. It knows which items have free shipping, and if it doesn't have free shipping, it will add in the price that Walmart charges you to ship that item. You don't even have to worry about it because the software will do it for you. So that's something that should be set up in the software. Gerardo says, can you explain eBay's API call limitations and how to increase it? Yeah, so it's a very advanced question. Basically, that software that I was just mentioning, it talks to eBay using API, the eBay's API program. And eBay limits the number of calls that you can make. In other words, how often the software talks with your eBay account. And as your store grows, you're going to have to increase that call limit. I did it a long time ago, and quite frankly, I don't remember off the top of my head how to do it. I think I have a video in the course about it. Otherwise, Autodesk deals with this every day, and they will probably have a support article on how to do that. Larry says, should you avoid oversaturated niches like electronics? Quite frankly, I don't really worry about whether I should be in this niche or that niche or saturation or things like that. When it comes to selling products or finding products to sell, we just do the same product research every time because that's going to show us which items are popular right now, regardless of what niche they're in and regardless of how saturated it is. So that's all I concentrate on, and I don't really worry about things like that. Quite honestly, I'm not an expert when it comes to things like credit. So you got to do your own research on that. But I seem to remember something about this, about how that's actually not true. But again, do your own research on that. Bassett says, I have a UK-based eBay account. I want to hire a virtual assistant from Pakistan. How can I give access to him? So when you're hiring a virtual assistant, when you first hire them, you do want to limit the amount of access that you give them until they build up some trust with you. So personally, what I do is I give them access to my Autods account and my Zeek Analytics account because there's very limited amount of damage they can do with access to those. You can even go into Autods and sign up to give them just limited access to your account if you want to sign up for that. That's what I would do at first, because with that, they can find products to sell, they can list products, they can do customer service, they can basically do everything from inside Autods without you ever having to give them access to your eBay account and your eBay username and password. Mohammed says, I have more than one shipping and return policy. Is this normal, or is it better to use one shipping and return policy for all listings? It's fine as long as it matches up, right? So these are the policies that get attached to your listings that say how quickly you're going to ship out the items, whether you accept returns or not. So it's fine to have multiple of these policies as long as they are accurate for your listing. So you might have one shipping policy for Walmart and a different one for Amazon and a different one for Home Depot and a different one from AliExpress. Maybe a better example is you might have one that's for Amazon and you might have a different one You should have a different one if you're also drop shipping from AliExpress, right? So that's totally fine as long as they're accurate. Does my listing have to be the lowest price to get sales on eBay? No, it doesn't. I came across multiple listings with prices that I cannot match if I would drop ship these products from Walmart, Amazon, etc. It doesn't need to be. You want to differentiate yourself from those other sellers by giving better titles, putting your items into different categories that make either more sense or even a little less sense, but it'll just show up when people are looking in those categories. Or if you're running into that, look for different products or different suppliers to work with. Nasreen says, a buyer opened an item not received case, and basically they uploaded a TrackTaco tracking number. Is that sufficient? So first, make sure the item really was delivered. You should be able to see that on Walmart. They'll take a picture of it. Assuming let's say it wasn't delivered, well, get Walmart to refund you and then refund the customer, right? You need to check that first. You don't want to be basically scamming these customers. But assuming it was delivered, still reach out to Walmart. First reach out to the buyer and say, hey, we're showing now that it was delivered. We even have a picture of it. Here's the picture of it. Let me know if you got it or not. If they say they got it, great. You have that in writing that it's been delivered. If they still say they haven't gotten it, reach out to Walmart. Sometimes they'll refund you. And if they do that, then you could just pass that on to the buyer. But otherwise, you do have that tracking number in there and you should be safe. You meant Facebook themselves. Well, you can't hide. So Roy's question was basically, can you dropship on Facebook without them knowing? But I'm not getting that because you're selling on Facebook. So how would they not know? They would know because you are selling on there. So I'm kind of lost. How are you going to hide it from them when you're on Facebook? Would you recommend using Hip Shipper for international orders since Autods is fully compatible with it? I don't use Hip Shipper. I've never used it. When I have sold internationally, I've used the eBay's global shipping program, which is now the international shipping program. But in general, I don't advise shipping internationally anymore because you basically need a tracking number for that to work. And even though we get tracking numbers like from TrackTaco to replace ones on Walmart and Amazon, it works for that, but it doesn't work for shipping items internationally. Because basically, if you ship items through the international shipping program, you only have to deliver the item to eBay and then eBay forwards it overseas. But the way they know that the item is theirs, one of the things they look at is a tracking number. And if the tracking number is not the one that you have on the order, then they're not going to be able to tell it's the right order. Also, a lot of times Walmart and Amazon can't deliver to eBay. So you're kind of running into that problem as well. All right, so Brett asked earlier about the lightsaber back there. You still got a bunch of stuff back there. I got an old drone that fell in a river once. I got my old Oculus, so I still play that. What else I got back there? A backpack just hanging up, and an old pair of AirPods. But the lightsaber, this I got in high school. I used to love Star Wars. I still really like it. There's a new Star Wars show coming out tomorrow. I'm pretty excited for. But I used to be like completely obsessed with Star Wars, and I really wanted like my own lightsaber, like a real one. Like this thing's, well, obviously not real, but it's made of metal, pretty heavy. And I saved up. I saved up all this money. This was like a couple $100. So I can't believe I spent that much when I was that young on this, but I did. And you could put like a tube in here that glows. I kind of lost that part of it. But yeah, it's just a really cool thing, and I've held on to it over the years, and now it has a place on my shelf over there. So that's the story. It's not modeled after anyone, like any of the characters. I think I got it on a website called Park Sabers, if I remember correctly. So, Hey, what's up? Okay. Would you recommend CJ Dropshipping, says Troy. So CJ Dropshipping, if you're going to dropship from China, CJ Dropshipping is one of the better suppliers that I've worked with. AliExpress is also pretty good, but it has its ups and downs. CJ Dropshipping I found to be one of the best. Oops. Oh, shoot. I just banned someone by accident. Oh, that really sucks. Because I can't unban him on here. I can do it afterwards. So I apologize to the person I just banned. That was not intentional at all. Okay. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So CJ Dropshipping, if you're going to dropship from China, where'd it go? Here it goes. That is a good supplier to dropship from compared to the other ones. And the markups of your items really depend on the marketplace, and the supplier that you're dropshipping from. But generally, you're looking at between like 5 and 10% in terms of profit at first, at least. Honestly, I don't even know what this is. Wallet monitor. I'm not sure what that is. Cyberplayer asks a question that says, if I buy some credits on Autods, will it reduce my costs on upcoming bill? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Amit Love says, are there any alternatives to TrackTaco? There's no free alternatives that I know of. Basically, what TrackTaco does is it provides you with tracking numbers. If like Walmart doesn't give you one, or Amazon gives you their own tracking number, you can use TrackTaco to generate a usable tracking number. There are no free services I know about, but you can also use Autods. If you have Autods automatically ordering items for you, then then they have their own sort of like TrackTaco alternative built in, but you have to use their auto ordering. Basit says, I just converted my buyer account to a seller account. How many listings can I do daily? So you have to log into your seller hub and actually look to see what your limits are, your selling limits for your account. So check that out first, and then you'll know exactly what your limits are. Gerardo says, what is your experience using Upwork to hiring virtual assistants? I'm not a fan of it. So these virtual assistants we hire from like Pakistan, India, the Philippines, where the cost of living is lower there, so we can pay a lower wage, and you don't have to worry about things like hiring employees and all the taxes that come with that. So you hire these people. They're basically independent contractors who are able to run your store remotely. And I like to hire mine directly. So when I hire from like online jobs, I'm directly hiring them. I am paying them directly. There's no middleman there. Online jobs is basically like a job posting board, and that's it. So once you have them, online jobs is out of the picture. I like that. With Upwork, Upwork's always in the middle. You're not hiring anyone. You're paying Upwork, who then pays the virtual assistant for the work that was done. So Upwork's always there in the middle. It ends up being more expensive because Upwork takes a cut. I don't like it. I don't like working through Upwork. And it seems like the VAs on there, their primary goal is just to get more feedback so that they can then sell their services to other people, when I want a virtual assistant to stay with me for a long time. No, I haven't seen any benefit of using Amazon business accounts to fulfill orders. I've tried it. I've looked at it before, and I just see that using regular Amazon accounts without Prime is the way to go if you're drop shipping from Amazon. Crypto Juice says, let me try to get through the rest of the questions in 5 minutes. Crypto Juice says, would you use the same dropshipping eBay account for wholesale or open another eBay account for wholesale? Yeah, so if you're already doing dropshipping, like dropshipping from retail stores like Walmart or Amazon or Home Depot, and you want to start dropshipping from wholesale suppliers, I would start on the same account, right? It's going to take you some time to get traction. It's fine to do it in the same account. Then if you see things really taking off and it's starting to get confusing, having two different kind of business models in one account, sure, you're more than welcome to then start a new eBay account that you use just for wholesale. But I think in the beginning, just run with one account. Just don't use Amazon Prime. And we haven't, as long as you use a regular Amazon account, we haven't seen it to be an issue. How do you deal with phony returns on eBay? Seems like a lose-lose situation. I never win my cases. With dropshipping, we don't have to worry about this because the returns go directly back to the supplier. And the supplier will then refund you, and then you refund the customer. So I don't have any issues with this. I'm sure there are customers who are running a scam, and the only one who loses out there is a supplier, which is unfortunate. It happens. But we have no control over that because we never even get to see the products. So we don't even know if they are returning the right thing. As long as I get a refund from the supplier, I'm going to refund the customer. What's up, Odima? Christians on the Brink says, what is better in your opinion? Should I list with Autods? Because a lot of these platforms like AliExpress and CJ Dropshipping allow me to list onto eBay directly from their website. Personally, I would use Autods because then everything will be in one place. If you're using the CJ Dropshipping software, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, then you're going to have some on CJ Dropshipping, you're going to have some on AliExpress, and then let's say you start dropshipping from Amazon, well, now you have to use Autods for that. So now it's too confusing. There's 3 different websites you have to go to. I like to have it all under one platform like Autods. Saber Theory. No, I did not. I think it was called Park Sabers, if I remember correctly. Let's see if that's right. Park Sabers. I think I've heard of Saber Theory, though. Park Sabers website is still around. Holy moly, look at that. Let's see if they still have my lightsaber. Oh, the website's not really working for some reason. It could be the browser I'm using. What's up? This was an old thing. It's not an issue anymore. Maher wants to know if I'm going to eBay 2023 in September. You know, I've looked at those before, going to them, and quite frankly, I don't see the value in them. They really focus and cater. You know, they've had dropshippers there before presenting and talking about it, but normally 99% of what they talk about they're catering to resellers. So it's not really relevant to me at all, actually. So I don't see the value in going for myself. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't think so. All right, let me answer like one more question here, and then we'll wrap it up. Jacob says, how long do you usually wait to use TrackTaco? Yeah, so a couple of things to consider here. Sometimes, so if like Walmart ships the item and doesn't give you a tracking number, you know, it's like what's it called? If they hand deliver it, whatever that service is called, blanking on it, or if Amazon delivers it with one of their tracking numbers, we're just going to use TrackTaco right away. But let's say I'm drop shipping from Home Depot where we get tracking numbers from, and they're just late in delivering it or shipping it out, so we don't have a tracking number on time. I'll go to TrackTaco before a tracking number is due. So kind of like, let's say a tracking number is due by tonight, and it's like 6 p.m. and Home Depot still hasn't given us a tracking number. Well, then my VAs who log in before midnight are going to see that. They're going to go onto TrackTaco, grab one, and put it in there. So we just make sure that every day the tracking numbers that are required are uploaded. All right. Well, that is it for this week. Everyone, thanks so much for the great questions. If I didn't get to answer yours, I apologize. Ran out of some time here. But make sure to come to the next live Q&A. Do these every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Come early, get your question answered. But I'll see you next week. Bye for now.